I'm Michelle from Zombie Charm School, and I'm here at Walking Dead Haralson Tours. I'm going to show you how to make some zombie clothes, and I'm going to do this the best I can, but we do have an iPhone that we're using for our high-tech camera today, and so I'm just going to go through this quickly. I talk very quickly, so you're going to probably want to rewind it on important parts. So come a little bit closer with that camera there, and let me show you what we do, what I choose when I'm making walker clothes. What you want is cotton clothing, as much cotton as you can get. This particular top I picked out because it happens to have 96% cotton, so it's going to take the colors very well and it's going to shred easy. If you choose polyester, it's very difficult to shred, it's very difficult to make it look mangy, and it doesn't take the paint color very well. What I use to make my holes is a knife that looks like this. This is a zombie hunter knife. Isn't that cute? And what I'm looking for is wear and tear, like you were bumbling through the woods for 2 or 3 years. So the sides of the clothing are gonna get a little thrashed. Also, real quick, you're gonna wanna wear real gloves, not these goofy gloves. You're gonna wanna wear some leather gloves. You wanna pay attention and not talk while you're doing this, or you will cut your finger off. And then your zombie clothes will be really authentic, but you will also have a hospital bill. So this makes nice little nasty little rips that look like maybe you've been stuck on some sticker bushes or something while you were walking through the wilderness, and you just want to cause a little tension on your outfit, and you're just going to want to scrape it. And I like to do it on the sides. You want to make sure that you do the back a little bit, so it looks like the sides of you. Maybe the collar, because that's a lot of weight for 2 years walking around with just these straps. So your straps are going to start to deteriorate. And I don't like to use clothing with straps because that means more skin that I have to put makeup on. So that's never fun. So I like to have as much clothing on as possible. If I were to put this garment on a walker here at Walking Dead Haralson Tours, for our walker for a day program, for instance, I would probably put a sweater on them so I wouldn't have to do their arms. Also, the rubbing is going to cause some wear and tear, and also the skin is going to deteriorate and leave some juicy inner fluids and whatnot, so that the armpits are going to get a little extra treatment on this, although it probably will be hidden with a sweater when I end up using this. So again, we want some nice holes. Also, the sun is going to bleach this out over the course of time, and so this isn't just holes from bushes and tree branches and falling down ravines. It's actually going to be like from bleached out fabric. So we're just going to shred it up, and always look at what you're doing, because this knife will get away from you and you will cut yourself eventually. You may lose a fingernail or a tip of a finger. So always look at what you're doing. Don't let people talk to you, and certainly don't make videos while you're doing this. So we're going to shred this up a little bit more, and then you're going to get the main idea of this. Also, be very careful not to take too much out of the boobage area, or you are going to end up exposing a bra. Which is fine a little tiny bit, but these holes in the course of the evening, if you're wearing this in the course of the day, they're going to get bigger, so you kind of want to leave the cleavage alone. I'm going to be real careful about that because it gets away from you real fast. If you are going to make a cut or a tear, you're going to want to come up under the clothing, push it forward nicely, and then you're going to end up with a really clean hole, and you're going to want to shred that hole up a little bit. Now I suggest that you use a rasp for this, but I don't have a rasp. I just have this knife, so I'm just going to shred this hole a little bit more, get some of them threads going so it looks a little bit older than it did before. So that's basically what we do when we shred a shirt. And you can get some more down here in this area if you want. And of course, I would equally do each armpit area and make sure that you've got some stuff going on the back. Okay, and then the next step that I will do is I will put my shirt on a hanger. And I really, we do pants here. You want to do the bottoms of the pants, and you maybe want to do the butt. I like to make the butt look really gross, like liquids have been coming out, bodily fluids. It's really fun. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to color it. And to color it, I need to explain my colors. So I'm very, very careful with my colors because some of them don't last through washes. Walker clothes on the show do not get washed. They get ionized with an ionizer. They get put into a big truck and they ionize them. So the clothes are surgically clean, surgical sweet sanitary, but they still retain all of the filth and the dirt and the look. So that's what happens to all of our clothes here at Walking Dead Tours also. So all of this stuff never gets washed, but it's always germ-free, bacteria-free. So anyways, back to the shirt. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spray the shirt with some of these colors. First, let me show you what I've got. This is Wilton icing dye, brown, mixed with a little bit of alcohol. And that color is kind of like a, oh, wrong one, this one. Is kind of like a tea color. And it just gives a nice, gross look. Here in Georgia, we have Georgia red clay as our dirt. So our dirt here is a little bit redder than maybe what you would want. And this makes for some nice colors. There's another color that I make with the Wilton icing dye. Here's another color. This is made from a black shoe polish. Shoe scuff cover mixed with alcohol. And this is a Wilton icing dye. This one may, oh wait, let me use this other color. I forget what color this is. This is a mystery color. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's a little bit more of a normal dirt color. And this is a blackish color that I make from scuff cover and alcohol, and it looks more like mildew. So those are kind of the colors that I generally go for. And then the final thing that I do is I add a blood product, very specific because blood products tend to turn pink. So I use Pro-Aiir Hybrid Airbrush Paint. And this is good for, this is special effects paint for skin. And I like to use it on the clothes because it holds its exact color. It holds its exact color perfectly. So it doesn't bleed out like this one over here went pink. Bad, bad, bad. So this is kind of what this looks like when it's flicked. And it looks real gross. And it's not fresh red blood because most of the time zombies haven't just eaten, walkers haven't just eaten. They've been walking around for a long time looking for something to eat, and the blood on their outfits has oxidized. So that looks like oxidized, nasty blood. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, treatment to this shirt. Now, if your shirt is too wet, it's best to do this in stages. I don't have time to do it in stages right now for the purpose of this experiment. Excuse me, sir. So I'm going to just kind of do it all at once. Hopefully this will stay up there. Also, when you have a white shirt, it's really, really gory. It's extra gory. This is a shirt that we did not distress hardly at all. It is like a freshly chowed down look with minimal wear. So this is a new walker, maybe only a couple of days old. His clothes still look pretty good. But if you choose shirts that are already kind of a yucky color, then it looks much older and nastier. So it depends. This white shirt is going to be a challenge because it is so white. Now let's see. All right, so we're gonna have a little general dirt. And a little bit more. This is a bit of a gray. This is all just gonna take that white color down a notch. And I'm gonna flip it to get the other side not quite so white. And I'm not using very much because you don't need to. It's really, really unnecessary to get too much on there. And let's see. Let's get this. This was the other brown. This is a dirt brown right here. It's also kind of a pukey brown, so we're gonna give it like a little pukey look. And I try not to get it in the back over here. And this is a bit of a gray color. Again, just kind of looks like dirt and whatnot. It's already looking pretty gross. I'm liking it. A little bit more, and I like to get the hemline a little bit dirtier than most places. And finally, well, not finally, one of the last things we do is we add a little mildew from them just walking around in the rain and drying out, walking out in the rain and drying out. And I don't like a whole lot. I just want a little bit. And last but not least is the blood, which is always the best part. So, again, I'm protecting the back so there's not splash on the back of the top. If I do accidentally splash too much, I just make a bullet hole back there. It's very, very simple. And this brush is like all beat up and crappy, and that's what I want. My flicking brush is always a crummy looking brush. I'm gonna put a little bit more, put this down so I can pull my fabric towards me. I'm just gonna make a few. If they were feeding, they would be, you know, kind of getting a little close to their victim. Might have some smears. And that is your basic Walker top. And I would absolutely pair that with a lovely holey sweater for a cute zombie ensemble for a Walker for a day here at Walking Dead Haralson Tours. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me via my email, Michelle@ZombieCharmSchool, and I'll try to answer any questions for you at that time. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. Cut.